is LinkedIn for business, and we do blogging, design websites, pretty much digital marketing. And today I wanted to talk to you guys about LinkedIn because it's my favorite tool. I love LinkedIn. And a lot of people, especially real estate agents, don't necessarily look at it as a viable tool for generating leads, but I don't agree with that. I think it's a really good tool for that. First of all, it's the #1 business social network. So I think of it like the major chamber of commerce with millions of people. And they're all there basically for the same reason. They're educated business professionals, and they're open to networking and discussing business. It's not like Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. They're there for business primarily. And for B2B marketing, 80% of the leads come through LinkedIn. That's how I get most of my business, is through LinkedIn. And I think it's a really great option for real estate also because you've got the educated business professionals that are open to business, and also they're your demographic for anyone who would want to hire a realtor or to list or to buy. So that's right where you would need to be. And then social media drives a lot of traffic to websites, but most of it comes from LinkedIn. So in my opinion, I conclude that it's an excellent social selling platform. So today I'm mostly going to talk about elements of an optimized profile, because your profile is really important. If you have it fully optimized, you get more views. Can you hear? Everything okay?
You're okay.
Okay. All right. When you have a fully optimized profile, then you get more views. There's 41% more views of a profile. And that's usually the first step to creating interest. And what are the elements? It's kind of like a biography or resume. A lot of people look at it as a resume because originally it was thought of as a tool for finding jobs. And so they have the elements of a resume, but also it can be served as a marketing tool, like a website. I recommend a profile picture. Some people put pictures of their logo. Sometimes they put family pictures. Sometimes they put a picture of their cat. This is not the place for that. We want to make sure that we put a profile picture. It doesn't have to be super stuffy, a professional image, but it should be your headshot so people can clearly get an up-to-date version of who you are and what you look like. There's also, behind your profile, there's a banner cover area, and a lot of people don't take advantage of that, but that's a good place to kind of add some visual element and also just tell a little bit more about who you are and what you do. And then the biggest thing for me is the properly written headline, and I'm going to go into that in some detail, and then a summary with full contact information. And you want to always link your experience to a branded company page. We do have a BRG Realty page that you can link to. And if you need help with doing that, then just reach out to me and I'd be happy to help you do that. It's very easy. And then if you get endorsements and recommendations, then that's part of the social proof that adds to all the information that you've provided there. An endorsement is simply somebody who looks at your skills that you have listed and they kind of give you like a thumbs up for that and say that they endorse you for that. A recommendation is actually like a written review on your LinkedIn profile. And the best way to ask for an endorsement or a recommendation is to first give one. So if you see somebody and that you'd like to, network with or get an endorsement from, then give them some endorsements first, and LinkedIn will prompt them to say, thank you for endorsing me for this skill. And so that's also another way to start a conversation. And then there's extra stuff on the profile that people don't often use, like you can put any charitable organizations, volunteer work, certifications, not necessarily hobbies, but there's a lot of different stuff that you can put on there that rounds out the person that you are. Another pet peeve of mine, or I didn't say any pet peeves, but a pet peeve of mine is that sometimes people use their company name as their profile name. And that's a no-no. LinkedIn, it's against their terms of service, and people tend to think it's kind of spammy or scammy if you use a business name instead of your name and your profile picture. And then now you are able to add a video directly onto LinkedIn. Before, you could only add a link. So if you have any videos, you know, for example, a property listing, you can add that directly on LinkedIn. You can put it on your profile, or you can share it as a post, and you can feature it on your profile if you do post it. And then, of course, you can add PDFs. They own SlideShare, so you can you could put on PowerPoint presentations, images, and other things too. So get creative with the things that represent who you are and get them on your LinkedIn profile.
Can I ask a question,
You bet.
please? So SlideShare, I've heard little whispers that maybe it's going to be shuttered. Have you heard anything about that?
I have not heard anything about that.
Okay, all right.
I'll look into it though.
wrong.
I'm curious now too.
Yeah, you know, I think it's terrific. I love SlideShare, but I saw something a couple months ago that there was maybe in the works that they were going to shutter it. So
Yeah, I have not heard that, but I'll
I hope not. I hope not. It's terrific.
Thanks. Okay. So one of the things that people don't understand is how to do a properly written headline. And the headline is really important because it's not about your title, your business title. It's about how you help somebody solve their problems. So to put it in terms of real estate, if you are certified for seniors, for example, then you might say, I help seniors. I'm a certified realtor who helps seniors downsize, right size, or relocate. So you want them to look at your profile or at the headline and immediately know how you're going to help them. Because if you're asking them to connect, then they need to know why they should connect with you. And usually a job title doesn't give them that. You have 120 characters to work with, and a lot of people don't fully utilize this headline area. So the reason that you want your headline to stand out also is because there's a section in LinkedIn where people can go to see who has viewed their profile. And so they get a laundry list of people that have looked at their profile, and it looks like this to them. So here's an example of, they don't show the whole headline, but it shows his name and it shows the title. And so his headline is his title. And that it doesn't really show you anything, how you would benefit from connecting with him. So when you write your headline, you want the person that's reading this section here to know how you can benefit them by being connected. And then when they send you when you send a request to connect, this is what it looks like. So this person has their real estate broker at Keller Williams. So it doesn't really tell you how he stands out, what the benefit would be to connecting with him. So use the headline area to tell people why they should connect with you and how you're going to benefit them. The next section is your profile. And we already talked about that, but here's an example. There's a very handsome man, my husband. He has, his banner is empty. That's the default banner behind him on this picture. And he has his business title. This is an older picture or an older screenshot, but those are two sections that I'm talking about optimizing. And so here's one that I did for a customer, and I just helped him write his headline so that when people that he's trying to target, corporations, event planners at different corporations, they know exactly who he is and why they should connect. And then the photo behind him is a representation of an event. The table is set, it's at the venue where he's at. And so, you get a visual impact to what he offers and right away before you even move down into his profile. There are tools for doing a banner. They're free tools like Canva, where you can just, pick a banner title, style, like there's templates and different things you can use. It's very easy to create a banner, or you can just upload an image. Like if you have a featured property or something like that that you'd like to have on there, you could put that as your banner image. It's kind of like Facebook.
Claudia, can I ask you a question?
You bet.
So do we have a downloadable logo for BRG that we can put in that window behind, or is that?
Yeah, you can do that. It's also on the company page. You might be able to screenshot it there, but I can send it to you.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
great.
Okay. All right, so then your summary, a lot of people don't realize that there is a section that you can call, or that you can put, it's at the top of the your profile, right under the information on your headline. And they used to call it a summary. I think now it's also called an about section. And so what I like to recommend for the about section or the summary is to write it that enhances what you've written in your headline. So you've written how you help people. Now you want to flesh it out and go into a little bit more detail. So you would then talk about, it's kind of like a cover letter if you're applying for a job. Your resume is written in third person, like you're an object, but your cover letter is always more personalized about why you're qualified for the job. So in this case, you can use the summary section to flesh out a little bit more detail about why you should be chosen as their realtor or whatever other profession you are. And it's kind of tricky sometimes. People don't know how to find contact information on a LinkedIn profile. So I recommend that you start your profile with your contact, or the summary with your contact information. Here's an example. I hope you can see this okay. But right at the beginning, this is a summary that I wrote for somebody. And the very first thing, he's in insurance, the very first thing that we put is contact me for a free quote and his contact information, because they'll see that whether or not they expand the section to read the full summary. I then fleshed out a little bit more about why he should be considered for hiring him for insurance coverage for the cannabis industry. And then at the bottom, followed it up with another contact area. So that's really important because a lot of people just don't know how to find the contact information on a profile, and you don't want them digging around. You want it to be right there for them. And then just some additional profile tips. You're going to want to complete as many sections as you can. So awards and education and experience. And when I say experience, don't just write your title and the company you worked with. Go into some more detail, kind of like you would on a resume, and talk about your accomplishments. So if you're a top producer, then you might want to put that in your description. A note about top producing. This is a kind of a thing that I find is funny. So if you're a top producing agent, then yes, that's great. That's wonderful for you. But how does it help your client base? So you want to think about, again, making it about them, not about you in this case. So top producing is great, but you might want to elaborate and say, helped buyers, find their dream home in the most competitive market up against 10 offers in Saratoga. I don't know. I'm just using that as an example. So the words top producing don't necessarily mean the same thing as what I just said. Now you're showing how you're a top producer and what you do to stand out. So complete as many sections as you can. And I just talked a little bit more about the experience section already. So you want to be thorough and put your accomplishments. And then I think I talked about this earlier, make sure that you're connected to your branded page. Even if you have your own personal brand, you can have that there too. You can have two, I don't even know if they limit how many current roles you can have. So for example, I think I have 3 current positions because I have my WordFlirt in my experience, and I also run a CBD business. So I have that on there. And I also do some specific real estate social media. So I have that on there, and they're all showing as open to present. currently. Okay, so you can have both your personal brand if you have like a website for that, and you can also have the BRG company page. And then I already kind of said this, add as much information as you can to really round out your whole profile so people really have a feel for who you are and how you can help them. And that's pretty much it.